Welcome to the AMC Stock Story Podcast. I'm your host, Russell Corey, and this is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. This is solely for entertainment purposes as I talk about my experiences of investing in AMC stock and becoming an AMC ape. Episode 110, Just a Glitch. So I often joke that I'm going to name my yacht Just a Glitch because there have been so many glitches in this AMC play. And everybody says it's just a glitch. It's just a glitch. It's just a glitch. It's just a glitch. You know, we see all these crazy figures coming out. And as people say, this isn't somebody, miskeying something. It's not like some old lady sitting there on her typewriter and she missed, and she hit the wrong key. The people who report this data, they get it from somewhere. And the suspicion is they're covering up the real data. And everybody says we're crazy, we're conspiracy theorists. But this data has to come from somewhere. And every once in a while, the data maybe they don't want you to see actually comes through. And we see these glitches. So like I say, the name on the back of my yacht is going to be Just a Glitch. So welcome to the AMC Stock Story. I'm also going to talk about the top 6 lessons I've learned from being in AMC. And if you're watching this on YouTube, put it in the comments. I love hearing from people. Put it in the comments. What lessons have you learned from AMC, right? Maybe you're an AMC hater or you love AMC, but what lessons did you learn? Leave it in the comments. I appreciate any feedback that I get on this, and I appreciate people taking the time to watch my videos and leave comments. So thank you. And if you're a new subscriber, thank you. I count everyone that comes, and you know what? I count them when they leave too. I hate it when people unsubscribe, so please thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate that. So what are the top 6 lessons that I've learned from being in AMC? Number 1, take profit. Now I know that seems crazy because the whole AMC philosophy was buy and hold, buy 'em in hands, never going to sell, not going anywhere. But I was a long-term investor. I made a few investments and for my retirement and what have you, and they would just sit there. Maybe once a year I'd look at a statement that came in and say, oh wow, it's doing well this year. I'm not a day trader. I'm not a swing trader. And, I got into the AMC play just because of the hype that I saw people making money from GameStop. And that was in January of 2021. And when May came around and people said the same thing was going to happen with AMC, I got in. And, the stock, I got in before the stock went to 60. And I didn't get in at $2 a share, but I got in between the $20, $30, $40 area, making different buys on different days. But I was there, when it jumped on June 2nd to 60, $60. And I could have made some decent money, especially in my Roth. But I was, I believed all the hype from everybody that this thing, and I did believe in the play. I thought these shorts were trapped. I saw it with GameStop. I saw it happen with GameStop. So I thought it could happen again. And that they were just caught, and this was it was inevitable. Within a few days, it was going to keep doubling till it went to the hundreds, and then you said, and so I didn't take profit at that point, even though some people I knew did. And I said, oh my God, these idiots. Why are they selling right now? They're going to miss their, seat on the rocket ship. Good luck getting on that rocket once it takes off. But on many occasions, when it got to 60 all the way down, I could have sold and taken profit. Once it got into the 40s, 30s, that was a little different. Then I'd be losing money, I think, at that point early on. Now later on, once the stock really dipped into the 20s and the 15s and the 10s, I started averaging down, and we'll get to that later. But also by getting into AMC, I got into crypto, Shiba Inu. At first, because AMC had said they were going to take Dogecoin, so I bought some Doge, a very small amount, and I realized it was nothing. But then I heard, now that I'd gotten into crypto, I also heard about Shiba Inu was coming on strong, so I got onto Shiba Inu before it had its big pump and run. And I could have sold Shiba Inu at, like 4 zeros 80. And I didn't. I kept holding it, thinking maybe it could hang in there, maybe it could keep going. And I should have taken profit at that point once I realized it was going back down. Eventually I did sell it because I looked for the next thing, which was, Doge and Mars. I figured I'd, buy I missed Doge, I missed Shiba Inu, quite frankly. And you needed to buy this stuff when it was super cheap and you could buy a super amount. ApeCoin. I bought ApeCoin, not the R8, but the crypto, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and that went up. And again, I didn't sell when it was at $24, and it went down. And even Ape, when Ape was cheap, I loaded up, and then when they made the announcement that it was going to go and they were going to have the vote, it went up to $3.30. I should have sold Ape then, and I could have bought it back at $1 and change. But all these times I just kept holding. I just keep holding. And that's the one thing that I learned is at some point you got to hit the sell button. You got to take profit. It doesn't do you any good to see it go all the way up and then come all the way down. Now, look, I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to sell your AMC or anything else. I'm just saying that you can watch this stuff go up and feel good about yourself, but then you can watch it go down as well. At some point you have to hit the sell button. And be happy. Maybe I've been pretty greedy, or maybe I'm just waiting. But like I said, I have a long-term investor mentality, and sometimes when you're doing this, you need to have maybe a little shorter term mentality. But take profit. Don't be too greedy. And if you're making good money, you're never going to be perfect. But that was the one lesson I think I've learned. Number 2, be careful. Do your risk assessment. When I got into this AMC play, I was very wary of the stock market. I knew it was just seemed like just a rip-off place, that it was too risky, that it goes up and it goes down. I did the very safest investments I could in mutual funds. I took the only real chance I took is I bought some Facebook at $20. If you listen to my videos, you've heard this story. I had $1,000 of cash just sitting in a Roth IRA, doing nothing, and I said, oh, you know what? I'll take 600 of it and I'll buy Facebook stock at $20 because I think it sounds like Apple and I think it'll go up. And it went up. And if I was so risk adverse, I wouldn't even put the whole $1,000 into Facebook. I only put 600 of it. So that was my mentality. And when I got into AMC, I kind of threw all of it to the wind. I saw what was happening with GameStop. I saw what was happening with crypto, Dogecoin, with these NFTs. And I said, I've been too cautious. I'm going all in. I sold other assets that I had to really go all in on AMC. And I wasn't diversified anymore. And I took a chance. And obviously I got burned, So just make sure to be careful when you get into these plays. And, as I've been in this play, again, I started getting into crypto. And you've seen crypto have its issues. And also like watching Teddy Zane, and he would do all these IPOs. You'd watch these crazy IPOs, and I did a couple of those, and finally I said no, I'm not doing any more of those, not for me. And so just be careful when you're making your investments. That's what I learned from AMC. Number 3, trust no one. And it's a hard one to say, but it's true. How many times was it, whether it be a YouTuber, Matt Kors, or Trades, or even Adam Aaron, the SEC, you think Gary Gensler's going to protect you, and all he does is turn around and make a commercial mocking you, right, as an investor for investing in an American company. The system, it's hard to trust anybody in this play or in general. Everybody seems to have an agenda, and you never know, what is going to go on. So, be careful. Don't trust anyone, whether it's like Lou left the play, all these YouTubers that come along. And I think that's what kind of I got caught in the beginning, because I trusted people and I was listening to watching all these YouTube clips. I still watch all the YouTube clips. I take everything everybody says with a grain of salt. So don't trust anyone. Get as much information as you can, but make your own decision and use your own best judgment. Number 4, the system is corrupt. I always knew there was inside trading and all these, there were some crooked traders on Wall Street, and every once in a while you'd see somebody go to jail. I had no idea how absolutely and utterly corrupt the stock market is, and the market makers. it's insane how corrupt it is. I don't understand how the system is allowed to exist. That these people are essentially playing 3-card Monty with our financial system. And it's terrible that the SEC doesn't enforce things. If you ever watch the Bernie Madoff documentaries, you see people warning the SEC that, hey, this guy's running a Ponzi scheme. These numbers don't add up. And time after time after time, the SEC did nothing, took no action, or stumbled or blew it. And finally, it was, other law enforcement agencies that got Madoff once everything collapsed, and he really did run out of time. But it just seems like, the people in the SEC and the government, they get millions of dollars for speaking at these hedge funds. So it's like, why are they going to rock the boat? Why are they going to, ruin their opportunity to make tons of money? They're just like us. They want to make money, right? And why would they blow that chance to get these hedge funds upset by enforcing laws or, trying to create a fair system for retail investors? But just such a corrupt system. Doesn't mean you can't make money. Doesn't mean it's not worth investing. But you look at FTX and all this baloney and all this crap, and how, the market makers can also run their own hedge funds, and they can short stocks, but they also control how the orders go, and they can manipulate things, and they use every loophole and just everything to cheat the system they can, and nobody does anything, and nobody cares. And it's I don't know, it's hard to say the word heartbreaking, but it is terrible how utterly corrupt the system was. I knew they weren't a pack of Girl Scouts, but oh my God, just horrible. Horrible. Number 5, listen to others. And when I started this play, and I would talk to other people, and I was trying them to maybe convince to invest in AMC, that this was going to be, a way to print money. And some people did invest, but other people would push back, and I still can hear them. I wish I listened to them as well at the time as I did now, when I can hear those quotes, people saying, it was too risky. It was really gambling. It was too risky to do this. I remember someone, saying, well, who's going to margin call these guys? Who's actually going to do it, right? And I just assumed the system would. That it would have to, right? I mean, they just can't get away with it. And of course they could. They would get pass after pass after pass from the people that would margin call them for these risky shorting bets. And as we're seeing right now with the collapse of the banking system, they just kept giving them money because the banks were shorting these stocks too. They just kept the crime going and going and going. But I wish I had listened to people a little more in the beginning. You could, do that with your risk assessment and being careful, but just listening to other points of view. And even some of the people that we hated, as we said, oh, this shill, they would make anti-AMC videos, and at one point I remember one of them, AMC had climbed back to $25 a share, and he's like, well, you should probably sell. You probably should sell. And at the time, if you had, you could have sold your AMC at $25 right before Ape came out, and then later on you could have bought your AMC back for $3.80. You could have bought Ape back for 65 cents. So listen to others sometimes, make your own decisions, but, take in as many opinions as you can. You don't have to trust everybody. You don't have to take it, to heart from everybody, but at least listen. And I'll give you an example. Marantz Rants hates AMC. He just bad mouths it all the time. He's just a big GameStop guy, right? And at the time, both these stocks, AMC and GameStop, were taking a real hit. And AMC was GameStop was at a real low. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to buy some GameStop. And when it keeps dipping, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to put it in Marantz's face. Well, a funny thing happened. GameStop actually went back up. And I have not a huge investment in GameStop, but I did buy some GameStop. But that came from listening to Marantz, that even though he was an anti-AMC person, I still listened to what he had to say. And if you want to disagree with it, let your beliefs be challenged and see if there's anything there and if there's any merit. So listen to others. Number 6, the last one for me for now, buy low, average down. That if you can find something you believe in, or if there's something you have your eye on and you see it go to like an all-time low or a 52-week low, but you think there's promise there, that's the time to buy that stock when it's low. And I know that's hard because when something's doing bad, people probably don't want to invest in it. And that's, when you buy it when it's low, and then when it goes up, you get all the profits. It's hard to, that's one of the problems. I got into AMC late. I got into other plays a little late, and when they go down, you get hurt. So that's one thing I learned from, AMC was, try to get into stuff before they take off, or find, hidden gems that, something that looks good, has potential, but is cheap right now, or is taking a dip, and save some money, save some dry powders, they say, and that's when to buy it. Now, sometimes stuff just keeps dipping. You never know when the actual bottom is. You could buy it and it could keep dipping, and if it goes down even more, you still believe in it, keep averaging down. And that's what I did with my AMC investment. We had a pretty high average, and when it went down, that's when I decided to, I'm in this play, I'm going to try to see it through. I'm not selling right now, so let me buy some more when it's cheap. There were shares I bought, $40, and if you can buy a share for $4, you could buy 10 shares for the one share you bought at $40. So that was a way to average down. And I know some of the, like my father and some other people that I encouraged early on to get into this play, and they didn't invest as much as I did, and so they were protected a little bit from not investing as much, but they never invested any more. So they had these pretty high averages. And when APE was so low, I was trying to tell them, hey, APE's like $1 and change, under $1 sometimes, and that could be potentially a share of AMC. So that's one way you could bring your average down, and just by buying AMC was a way to bring your average down. So you don't have to have AMC get back to $40, $50 before you get your money back. If your average, if you can bring your average down low enough, you just need to get AMC back to $10 or $15. But I learned that, don't be afraid. If it's something you believe in or you think it has potential, keep your eye on it. Warren Buffett would do that too. I mean, it's classic, buy low, sell high. The trick is having the courage to buy something when it's low or when it's dipping. And that just, look around. If there's stuff that you like, keep your eye on it. And when the market crashes, that's the time to go in and scoop stuff up and hope for the best and hope it goes up. So tell me, what did you learn from this AMC play? There's more that I got out of it, but those are just 6 quick lessons that I have. So please leave it in the comments. Tell me what you have learned in this play. I think some of the other things that I've learned, not quite lessons, but there's a lot of people that before I got into AMC, I don't know if I would follow them on Twitter, or I don't know if we would support each other on YouTube and doing these other things, because quite frankly we have different political viewpoints, but because we had this common cause, I was able to open myself up. And I don't know, and I think the country could use more of that yes, we have disagreements on some things, but what brings us together? That's another big thing that I got out of this AMC play, is that we just have more in common than we have that drives us apart. And if we can find that as a people, as a country, I think that's a good thing. And that's something they can't short, they can't take that away, not if we don't let them. The AMC community has formed, and hopefully we can stay together and see this through. We'll see what happens now. I mean, it's going to be crazy times. I mean, these glitches that keep coming up, they're saying with this, 421 billion market cap. As I'm recording this, I double check Robinhood just to see if they were still reporting that. They're still reporting that. If that was a simple error, if that was someone that missed a key, they would fix it. They would have fixed it by now. That data, they're getting that data from somewhere. Look, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if it really is that is the market cap and these shares are worth $800 plus each, or it is a glitch, or maybe they're doing it to psych us out. I don't know what the answer is, but something's going on. If that was simply a technical mistake, they could have fixed that by now. Someone should have fixed that by now. So who knows what's ahead for us in the weeks ahead, as we we also have the court decision coming down. But when we say there's all this corruption, we say there's all these shares, you're going to see signs of it, and maybe this is one of the signs that they're letting this numbers leak out and letting this idea come out. Would you be happy with $800 a share? You know what? I hate to say it, I take it. At this point, I mean, if it got to 800, would I hit that sell button? Probably. I know some people want to hold for $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 a share. But you know what, man? That's one of the things. What I say, number one thing, take profit. If it gets to 800 and I can sell it and get that money, I'm going to sell it and get that money. Maybe it can go higher, maybe you can't. Maybe you hold on and they delist the stock, or they do something, or they won't. They take away not just the buy button, they take away the sell button too. You never know what could happen. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you my honest answer of what I would do if all of a sudden, Monday morning AMC's at $800. I gotta believe I'm gonna hit that sell button and try and get as much of that as I can. Maybe not sell all of it, but a lot of it, sell enough of it to make an impact, because you don't know how long that's gonna last. And it's not about you necessarily. The decision gets made. Trust me, I've done, like I said, I held all these investments. It wasn't me that sold, it was someone else, and they drove those numbers down to a point where it doesn't matter anymore. You're not going to be able to sell it and make any money because the price went down. So it's not what you want to do, what you think it's going to be. It's what the market as a whole thinks it's going to be. And you could say, well, I'm not selling at 800, but if everybody else does, guess what? Well, now you can sell it for $40 or $10 because it's not going to be at 800 again. But then again, you could sell for 800, and who knows, it goes up to 10,000, right? And then you miss out. But that's kind of the philosophy that got me in trouble at the beginning of this play, when I could have sold it for $60 and then got back in later if I wanted to. But anyway, hey, let's see what happens next week, and let's see what happens with the craziness with all these numbers. It's nice to see at least Adam Aaron tweeting about it. Who knows what he'll actually do about it, but we'll see. I don't know, what do they say? Just a glitch, right? Just a glitch. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I won't be the only one that names my boat that. Anyway, thanks for listening to the AMC Stock Story. Stay tuned next week. Let's see, maybe this isn't just a glitch, and maybe this will cause the MOASS, and maybe that will be the next episode of the AMC Stock Story.